So, as a kid, obviously we always have somebody that we look up to and that we idolize. So, had you asked me like 10 years ago, I probably would have said Superman or Batman. If you asked me a few years after that, I would have said LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Um, but as I grew up and as I got a little bit older, I realized that there's been one person that's always been there, like seriously, always been there since day one, and that's been my mother. She's super awesome. She's super supportive. Coming from a Hispanic background, we're very, very close as far as families go. And I just want to kind of talk to you guys for a few minutes about why she's the most influential and has had the most impact on me um, ever since I was a kid. So, first and foremost, she's like the most fun person in the world. For a mom, of course, she's strict and she's always taught us about values. She's always taught us about values and morals and taught me how to be chivalrous and open doors for women and things like that. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not. But more importantly, she's very fun. She hosts parties, and oftentimes she's like the life of the party. She has people over, we have drinks, there's music. It's just such a good time. And so, aside from her being super fun, she's very, very supportive. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to play football, and she didn't want me to play football because of how high impact it was. But she ended up letting me play football anyways. And as a mom, I could see how she'd be worried about her son's safety, but she kind of let me just do my own thing, and she trusted my judgment. And that kind of grew all the way up until now. When I was in high school, I went home one day and I was working, and I told her I wanted to buy a motorcycle, and she was like, "Do you really want to buy a motorcycle?" And I said, "Yeah, heck yeah, I want to buy a motorcycle." So I bought one, and she was okay with it. And a couple years after that, I bought a sports car, and she was okay with that too. And she was worried about safety and insurance being so high, but we got it taken care of. Up until last year, that I told my mom that I wanted to marry this one here. She was okay with it. She loved her, and she wanted me to be happy, and that's all that mattered. So I just want to demonstrate how supportive she is. In front of you guys, there is a white box. If you want, you can go ahead and open it. So I'll give you a quick story about this. So when I was a kid, my parents struggled a lot financially, and I remember for one Christmas, I don't know how we ended up getting presents because of how financially strapped they were, but um, my dad ended up buying that bracelet for my mother, and my mom cried her eyes out because she knew that they couldn't afford it, and she ended up accepting it, obviously. And a couple years after that, my father passed away, and that ended up meaning a lot to the family. So last year, when I asked this one here to marry me, my mom was obviously very emotional, and she gave this bracelet that meant so much to her to Joanne. And obviously, for my family and myself, that was a really big emotional deal, considering that that bracelet was more than just a bracelet. It was the bond that my parents shared up until the day that my father passed away. But it was a big deal, and that just kind of shows how supportive she is. And I remember telling my mom that I'm gonna propose to this girl and move to Pennsylvania, 1,000 miles away from where I was born and raised, and she supported me. And I think because of that, she's had the most impact on me, and she's always been that person that's had my back to this day. And I know as life continues, she'll pass that down from mother to future wife. But I know that no matter what happens, she'll always have my back. And because of that, she is the most influential person in my life. Thank you guys for joining my presentation. And